I was lost in the woods, tired and alone, when a strong smell hit me, like a dead, bloated pig. At the time, I thought it might be one of the men I had been traveling with. Dead, I assumed. Then came the flies. I felt them crawl between the plates of my armor, trying to find a way inside. I saw them caked on the trees, infecting the land with strange wounds. I'd seen unsightly things in the north, but this was beyond me. As I stepped deeper into the brush, I saw a dim lantern flickering. I'd lost mine when the caravan got separated. I thought it was one of them. I wasn't completely wrong. Finis, a young man, a fresh wayfarer that found himself here a few months back. He had a scar on his chin that gave him a tough kind of look, but he was a warrior. And now his shredded corpse lay at the feet of the spawn of the swarm. This crooked, twitching thing that reached down into Finis's ribcage. From where I stood, it almost looked like a goat or a sheep, but its mouth was a mess of mandibles and pincers. And the noises, trill, it sounded like crickets. I wondered how such a noise could be produced, and it was then I realized the noise was coming from all around me. Alright, today we're going to be going over the Capra drone. So, first things first is that I felt that Copper Vale needed to be populated. So, I wanted to make a creature that filled a similar role to a goblin. Not a one-to-one, but, just a mini creature, minor threat sort of thing. Although in the end it became something a little more than a minor threat. So the design that I started working with first was something of a typical beast man. I did this hideous face that was reminiscent of Ludwig the Accursed, or that horse from Berserk. I mainly referenced goats, rams, horses, and a little bit of ground sloth. I wanted to make them patchy and mangy. You could see dried blood and in their fur, matting it, smell of rot just coming off of them. I needed to find out how I could make that come off in their design, and how could we push it even further. An aura of flies was something that I had an idea to do. It could be like an omen, like a bad omen showing that they're coming, like if flies come to your village. Weapons. I wanted to give the Capra drones these special route weapons, and I wanted them to be able to wield them effectively to show that they're more than just beasts. They're more than just bears or goats or a typical monster. They have some signs of intelligence. These weapons are not crafted per se, but rather stolen from places that they raid and imbued with some kind of rotten magic through unknown methods. As I kept designing the typical Beastman design, I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool, but I had this overwhelming feeling that I had seen this before. It did not feel like something unique to Copper Vale, and I felt like that was something that I needed to really push. So I kept going back to the bugs and the whole rotten aspect, and that was a real thing that I was drawn to in this design, was this aura of bugs, aura of flies. And I thought, oh, what if these guys maybe worshipped something like something insectoid or arthropod in nature, and what if this played a much larger role in their design? So at this point, I decided to start going forward with a more insectoid or arachnid influence in their design. I did these sketches while looking at different bugs, but I still wanted to keep the ram-like body because of lore reasons. But even with the bug-like look, they're still very much related to bighorn sheep. So I referenced beetles, cockroaches, praying mantises, horseflies, spiders, cicadas. I wasn't super worried about encapsulating a single bug. I more wanted to pull from all of these different things to create something that looked satisfying. And eventually, I landed on this design that I really liked, something that was similar to, I suppose, a horsefly with these horns that raised upwards rather than curled around. And it was really nice, but I wanted to imagine this creature from different angles. I'd like to make a 3D model of it eventually. As I was looking at it, I realized that I didn't love how the legs were situated on it, the legs and arms. It didn't make sense when comparing it to all of the other arthropods that I was looking at. Insect and arachnid legs aren't connected really in this way. Most of the time they originate closer to the center of the body. Like a stronger real-world reference would result in a better creature, I thought, and it would be easier to make this a turnaround in the end for when I wanted to do the 3D model. So after spending some time on the design, I finally came to a final design that I'm pretty happy with. I had this much stronger insectoid look. The mouth parts were given functionality similar to mantis. I made it so the coxa and the sternum are similar to a spider. These legs and limbs are originating from the center line on the body. The thorax and the abdomen, very similar to a horsefly, even covered in hair. The ram horns remained, the silhouette is still ram-like, and in dim light and darkness, the head looks just like a ram skull. Very few people know where they go, where they live, where they originate. They raid villages, eat some people, and kidnap others to drag them deeper into the woods. They speak in a song of chirps and trills that suggest they may have language, but their coordination suggests they may be part of a hive mind. Their motives are unknown, and they eat people, but why do they kidnap others? It's one of the mysteries of the Veil. That's about all I have for this creature design. Let me know if you guys like this format. It's a lot less stressful to try and write when I'm not having to focus about sounding like an in-world character. And I'd like to get out videos maybe faster if I can do them like this, because I tend to dread the script narration portion of my videos. So yeah, just let me know if you like this, and thank you for watching.